Hey, what's up? This is the NLE Ninja with Rampant Design Tools, and in this edition of Running Rampant, I'll show you how to use Studio Light Blast Transitions. Studio Light Blast Transitions are a collection of 321 QuickTime clips of optical light effects and transitions that can be inserted into any video and punch up the quality. Available in 2K, 4K, and 5K via download or a USB 3.0 drive, these light effects can be utilized in very unique ways. Since these are drag and drop elements, they work in all popular editing and compositing softwares such as Premiere Pro, After Effects, Final Cut Pro, Motion, Avid Media Composer, and more. Today, I'll show you two examples of how to get creative with Light Blast transitions. For these examples, I'll be using Adobe Premiere Pro and Adobe's After Effects. For my first example, I'll break down how I made a live text transition using Light Blast transitions along with Red Giant presets in Video Copilot's Color Vibrance plugin. For my second example, I'll show you how to create a high-energy 2-up video display using Light Blast clips, Core Melt plugins, and Gray Machine's Video Rock assets. Without further ado, let's run rampant. I'm in After Effects Creative Cloud 2014, which comes with a new feature of creating live text templates for Premiere Pro. Let me break down how I created this template. First, I use Light Blast Clip 302 to set it to loop 5 times. So if I go to here where my clip is in the project browser, I right-click, go to Interpret Footage, go to Main, you'll see that the loop has been changed from 1 to 5. I then applied Video Copilot's Color Vibrance filter and added a wiggle expression to the color with some modified parameters. Next, I use a pre-render of a Trapcode clip from the Trapcode 3S bundle to get this green highlight. It seemed to complement my Light Blast transition better than anything I could have imagined. I also applied color vibrance to this as well to isolate the element as well as give it transparency since this was an H.264 clip. From there, I created a text layer and applied the ramp filter in 2 light sweep instances to light the edges. I then duplicated the text and made it white. Using a circular mask and a linear white filter, I was able to give it a glossy reflection. I used an expression to parent the source text parameter of the duplicated text layer to the original text layer. So I press the E key twice. You'll see that it's parented to this source layer. That way, I can change only one of them, and they will both show up with a different set of words, which I'll demonstrate in just a bit. I also made both text layers 3D and added a short animation to them. To finish this off, I added a lens flare to make the transition complete when the text flew back at the screen. Let's jump over to Premiere Pro CC 2014. I'm here in Premiere Pro Creative Cloud 2014, and I've imported the After Effects clip and placed it on top of 2 video clips in the timeline. Now, I have the ability to change what the text says. I changed the name of the text overlay layer so I wouldn't forget that it doesn't need to be changed in Premiere. If I type in something new, we'll see it update. As you can see, we could use these clips with the new video apps of Creative Cloud 2014. Let's create something even cooler using only Premiere Pro this time. One of the many type of effects I'm called to create on a regular basis is the video reflection display with a simple or intricate background. In some cases, I need to do it with 2 videos showing at the same time. Well, I'm going to show you how to create a 2-up video display that has a high energy feel like this. Before we insert any video clips into this, let's take care of our background first. I'm going to create a 1080p color matte. It doesn't matter what color it is, as that will be changed after we modify its look. Let's go to New Item and select Color Matte. And let's hit OK. Let's drag it into track 1 in our timeline. Let's make the overall duration about 7 to 8 seconds. With the matte selected, go to the effects browser and type in Ramp. And apply the Ramp filter to it. Let's make the start color black and the end color gray. We're going to keep it at a linear ramp and move the positions of the start and end colors like so. Let's apply the circle filter to our matte. Let's change the radius to 38 and change the position so it's in the upper left corner. Let's change the feather edge to 546 in the blend mode to normal. I'm going to use a light orange color for this, but choose any color that you want in your composition. Let's select our circle filter, right-click, and select Copy. Let's right-click in this empty space right here and select Paste. Let's throw up this circle filter right here and work on this one. I'm going to reposition this one so it's in the upper right corner of our frame. Let's change the color to Taste. Now that we have that taken care of, let's add another piece to our background. In my project browser, I'm going to click on the New Item button and create another color matte. Let's make sure it's 1080p and hit OK. Let's make the color of our color matte dark purple. Let's place it on track 2 and make it the same duration as our color background piece on track 1. With the clip selected, go to the effects browser and apply the Venetian blinds filter. Let's change the blinds completion to 48%. Let's change the direction to 46. I'm going to apply the linear wipe filter so we could trim some of our color matte in our background. So let's go to the effects browser, type in linear wipe. Let's make the completion 24%. Let's make the wipe angle 0. Now that the base of our background is done, we could add some light blast clips to it now. For this composite, I'm going to use Light Blast Transition Clip 301. If that's not a clip that you want to use, you could choose any of the light blast clips you want. Let's place this on track 3. Let's select the clip, right-click, and go to Speed and Duration. Let's change the speed from 100% to 65, and hit OK. With the clip still selected, let's go to the Effects Control panel. Let's change the scale from 100 to 50. Let's change the rotation from 0 to 90. Change the blend mode from normal to color dodge. I'm going to move my playhead to the 1 second 6 frame mark. Let's option drag another copy of this to where our playhead's currently at. Let's select that clip, Let's change the rotation from 90 to 0. Let's move the playhead to the 2-second 16 frame mark. I'm going to highlight both of my light blast clips and option drag to the playhead's current position. Now we'll have 4 instances, but let's add one more instances just for good measure. Let's go to the 5-second 14 frame mark. Let's option drag the light blast clip that is rotated 90 degrees. Now we'll have a total of 5 instances of the light blast clip occurring throughout our composition. Now, our light blast clip should appear sporadically across our background. Let's add some lens flares to this. Let's go to our project browser, let's go to the new item button, and let's select black video. Let's make sure it's set to 1080p and hit OK. I'm going to go to the source monitor, and I'm going to drag our black video clip into the source monitor. Let's make this 10 frames long. And let's place it on track 4. With the black video clip selected, apply the lens flare filter to it. Let's go to the effects control panel, and let's position it towards the upper left. Change the lens type from 50 to 300mm zoom to 105mm prime. Let's set a keyframe for brightness at the beginning of the layer with a value of 0. Move 5 frames forward and change the value to 157. Move 5 frames forward again and change the value back to 0. Let's apply a fast blur to this. Change the blurriness to 25 and enable repeat edge pixels. Let's go to opacity and let's select either add or screen for our lens flare. I'm going to option drag a duplicate of the layer above it. With the duplicate selected, type in +6. This will move it 6 frames forward. Let's select a duplicate. Let's reposition it to the upper right. Let's repeat this process again and change the position of the flare to the lower right. Let's do it one last time and position it to the lower left. Now that we have our flares appearing at different times, we can option drag duplicates across the timeline without having to reinvent the wheel every single time. Let's do that now. Once you have your flare situated, let's create some EQ blocks. I'm going to create another color matte layer and place it on track 8. With the layer selected, let's apply Core Melt's EQ Simple 3D filter. Since this is a plugin from Core Melt, it's a free plugin that's available for Mac users. If you are a PC user, you can substitute this step for a pre-rendered EQ clip instead. In the effects control panel, let's choose a song to get the bars going up and down. I'm going to choose one right now. Once you've selected a song from your library, let's change the color of the bars to taste. Let's change the bar's color alpha to 1. I'm going to select the bar texture glass for this example. If you're not too pleased with that texture, you could always change it to the other textures that are available, like balls, gradient, grind, inverse grind, light, lozenge, outline, stars, stripes, top and bottom, or triangle. Let's invert this and click on the flicker checkbox. Let's go to our 3D transform. Let's set all of our rotations to 0. We have our EQ bar set up, so now we can start adding in our video. I'm going to place 2 clips in my timeline above all the other elements we've created so far. I want to apply some frames to this clip, so I'm going to select my clip on track 10 first, right-click, and disable, so we can see our clip on track 9. With our clip on track 9 selected, let's go to Effects, let's type in Mask, and Frame. Let's apply it to our clip on track 9. Once again, this is a Core Melt plugin, so if you aren't a Mac user, you could place a frame above your video clips for this step and scale them to size. Let's click on the Use Mask checkbox to disable it. Let's click on the Apply Frame checkbox. Let's scroll down the picture frame. Let's change the scaling in frame to 1. Now we're going to choose a frame here. I'm going to choose Apple Display for this example, but you have an option of choosing any of these frames for yours. Now that we have a frame on our clip, let's give it a reflection real quick. So I'm going to apply Core Melt's Advanced Reflection. With the reflection filter applied, let's change our scaling to 0.440. Let's change our Y rotation to -23 degrees. And let's position it to the right. Let's make sure our reflection type is smooth glass. I'm going to right-click on this clip and select Copy. Let's right-click on our clip on track 10 and select Enabled. Let's right-click one more time and paste attributes. I'm going to select Effects, let's turn off Opacity, and let's hit OK. Let's change a few things here. I'm going to change our Y rotation from -23 to 23. And let's position him to the left. Now that we have our 2 videos in place, let's add a title and some speakers. I'm going to be using a pre-rendered clip from Gray Machine's Video Rock collection. I have an animated speaker I want to place in front of my screens. Let's place this on track 11. Now, the clip doesn't last the length of our video clips, but that could be changed by using the Rate Stretch tool. So let's go grab that real quick. And let's drag the out point to the length of our video clips. Let's grab our selection tool. And with our speaker clip selected, let's go to the Effects Control panel. Let's swirl down Motion. I'm going to change the scale from 100 to 120. I'm not too fond of the color red that comes with the speaker, so I'm going to add a tint filter to it real quickly. Let's go to the effects browser. Let's type in tint. Let's double click to apply it and leave it at its default values. Now our speaker's kind of just hanging there in space, but I want to position it so it's on the left side of our screen. So let's reposition it now. In my timeline, I'm going to option drag a duplicate to track 12. Let's apply the horizontal flip filter to it. And let's position it towards the right. We have our speakers in place, so now we can create our final element, which is the title. I'm going to create a title now by going up to the title drop-down menu and selecting New, Title, Default Still. Let's name this Dance Off 2014. I'm going to type in Dance Off in all caps. Let's select it. And I'm going to choose a font that's called Aurora, but you can use any font that you choose. I'm going to change the size from 100 to 195. Let's show the background video, and let's make sure it's positioned in our lower third part of our screen in dead center. I'll apply a layer style real quick by holding down the Option key and choosing one of the layer styles I have available to me. Once I've done that, let's get out of the title tool and place it on track 13. Let's make it the length of our timeline. And let's option drag a duplicate on the track 14. I'm going to go to the effects browser and type in vertical flip. And just double click to apply it. And let's reposition it so it's right underneath our first dance off text layer. Let's change the opacity of this from 100, that is right now, to 47. And let's add a linear wipe filter to make it faded. Let's change our angle from 90 to 0. Let's change our completion to 94. And change our feather from 0 to 296. We have all of our elements in place. The last thing we need to do is add a slow push, which can be achieved using an adjustment layer. So I'm going to go to the project browser. I'm going to click on the new item button and select adjustment layer. Let's make sure it's 1080p. Let's place it on track 15. Let's make it the length of our video clips. With it selected, let's go to the effects browser and type in transform. Let's click on Uniform Scale. Let's go to the beginning of our timeline and set a keyframe for scale. Let's go to the end of our animation and change the value from 100 to 110. We have this all set up, so let's render to see the result. After creating this many elements using a combination of light blast clips and other assets, here's what the final result looks like. This composite can be used for a variety of situations and modified as such. Feel free to go much further with this if you choose to. From the examples that were shown, as well as the ones that were created, Studio Light Blast Transitions offers more than meets the eye. They can be used as a transition, combined with a unique effect or background. They can be used as a transition, combined with a unique effect, or become part of a cool background. The sky's the limit with these clips. You can learn more about this product and other products by visiting the Rampant Design Tools website here. You could also keep up with Rampant Design Tools by following them on Twitter at Rampant Design. And don't forget to like their Facebook page here. I'm the NLE Ninja with NLE Ninja Effects, asking you to stay creative and run rampant. Thanks for watching.